Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, let's get ready. Language again. And it's period number 4. Just wait for the screen to open the PowerPoint. Don't sing, please. Now, look at the screen and see the first part here, period 4. Now, what's period 4 going to talk about? Yes?
About whose and where?
So these are relative clauses. Yes, thank you. So it's going to talk about whose and where. Lujain, read example number 1 and 2, please.
This is the house. I grew up here. This is the house where I grew up. He returned to his home. He lived happily there for the rest of his life. He returned to his home where he lived happily for the rest of his life.
Thank you. Now, what's the relative pronoun used in example 1 and 2? What's the relative pronoun? شو الضمير اللي استخدمه للربط؟ Where.
Here.
Now, why did he use where here?
Because he talks about places.
Yeah, he talks about a place. It's the house or the home. So it's a place. Now, George, example 3 and 4.
The hero goes on a journey. The hero's son lives in another country.
Yes.
The hero whose son lives in another country goes on a journey. I apologize to the man.
Yes, read it.
I stepped on his foot. I apologize to the man whose foot I had stepped on.
Okay, now if you look at example number 3, here you have the possessive S. الملكية. So instead of it, we use whose. Now, we talk about the hero. So this sentence goes here.
سامع صوت عوض؟
Yes? Please.
Yes.
Those who are noisy. في أي سؤال? Now, the second example, number 4, his also is a possessive pronoun. هذا ضمير ملكية. So we use whose. Now, can you tell me the difference between the first two and the second two? Yes, Amal.
ايش بدك؟
شو الفرق بين أول جملتين وثاني جملتين؟
أستاذ أول جملتين بحكي عن مكان، آخر جملتين بحكي عن اسم.
So can you say that in English? Try it.
الملكية.
So can you say that in English, Julia? 1 and 2 talk about the place. 3 and 4 talk about the possession.
3 and 4 name.
Names, possession here, possession. Yeah, possess, يمتلك. Now complete the grammar rules according to this. Rule number 1, who can complete that?
Anastasia.
Yes, go.
Where and whose are both relative pronoun.
ضمائر الربط, relative pronoun. اكتبوا عليها ضمائر الربط. So where and whose are both relative pronouns. Now continue. يلا الثانية. أمل.
أنا أستاذ.
يلا شيماء. شيماء.
We use them in both defining and non-defining relative clauses.
So, yes, thank you very much. So where and whose are used as relative pronouns هم عبارة عن ضمائر ربط يعني مثل who, which, or that, the same thing, and they are used in defining and non-defining clauses in both cases. Now, next slide. Read Shayma, please. Read the instructions here. Add the correct relative pronoun which, who, or whose,
Add
or
the
where.
correct relative pronoun, which, who, where, or who.
Yes, number 1, Yaqub.
To complete these sentences.
يلا كمليها شيماء كمليها. يعقوب الثاني شيماء number 1.
وأنا الثالثة.
Thank you for the book, which I enjoyed.
Okay. Number 2, Yaqub.
Yeah, the hero whose name is Jack lives his
The whose name, yes. Number 3, Carol.
He lived in Cairo, where is the capital city of Egypt.
Where or which?
Where?
Okay, what do you think others? He lived which is the capital of Egypt? Thank you.
which
Now, number 4, Rawand. Rawand.
أقرأها.
يلا.
They went to the next town where they meet an old man.
Okay, now here he talks about a place, so where? Next one, Lujain. Number 5.
The old man whose clothes looked old and dirty. Yes, the old man whose clothes looked old and dirty was really the king.
Thank you.
أحلها.
يلا حليها.
Her father, who had traditional opinions, refused to let her marry.
Okay, سمعان number 1 again, please. Thank you.
صح.
Yes.
يلا أستاذ. Thank you for the book which I enjoyed reading.
Okay, Carol, number 2.
The hero, whose name is Jack, lived with his mother.
Kais, number 3. Come on, Kais. Nataline. Hello. Lorraine.
يلا. He lived in إيش هاي؟
كايرو القاهرة كايرو.
Which is the capital city of Cairo,
Egypt.
which is the capital city of
Egypt مصر.
أستاذ أنا ندحل.
يلا يا زن. لحظة شيماء بس.
They went to the next one where they met an old man.
Okay, an old man. Now, the next one, Shima.
The old man whose clothes looked.
Yes.
The old man whose clothes looks and old and dirty was really the king.
Okay, the last one, Hiba. Kinda, number 6. There are some people who keep silent all the time, so do it, please. And thank you. جاوبيها. يا جوليا.
أقرأ السادسة.
Yes.
يلا. Her father who had traditional opinions refused to let her marry.
Okay. Now, if you look at
As-
yes.
بدي أسألك عن الثالثة. كايرو ما هي مدينة يعني مكان. ليه ما
طيب
حطينا وير؟
هات نقرأها بطريقة ثانية، هي جملتين. He lived in Cairo. It is the capital of Egypt. Okay. So he is talking about Cairo as the capital, not as a place he visited. If you look at this one here, number 4, sorry. They went to the next town. They met an old man. التقوا بالزلمة. إذا وين فيها؟ إذا هم بيحكي عنها كمكان. هون استخدمنا where. Here he talks about it as a subject of the sentence كفاعل غير عاقل. So there is a difference. I'm going to read through them again. Now, if you look at example number 1, book, we use which. The last one, father, we use who. Can you see the difference between number 1 and number 6? Here.
Yes.
Yes. عاقل وغير عاقل. Now, in number 2 and number 5, compare them, please, everybody. You can see that he's talking about الملكية, possession. So the hero, whose name? إذا بنلاحظ دائما whose تيجي بين اسم هون واسم هون. So it's between two nouns. And here the same, whose, a noun and a noun. Whose is inserted between two nouns. اسم المالك والمملوك يعني. فيها بين اسمين بتيجي. Whereas number 3 and 4 are different. In number 4, he talks about the town as a place they met in. التقوا في المكان. إذن هنا where لازم. And number 3, he talks about Cairo as the subject of the sentence here. It's not the same as who. It's non-human, so we use which. لأنه غير عاقل بنستخدم which. Is it clear? Have you got the point?
Yes.
واضح؟
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now look at them again. أشروا عليهن حتى على الكتاب. 1 and 6 similar. Now 2 and 5 are similar. 3 and 4 are different. When do we use whose, George? When do we use whose? George?
When there's between two nouns.
Between two nouns.
Between
so
two
it's
nouns.
possessive, ملكية. Okay. Now we are going to move to another activity on the next part. It's activity number 3. Here, correct the sentences. There is one mistake in each sentence as supposed. Now, if you look at example number 1, طبعا here he summarizes everything that we had, defining, non-defining, where and whose. كل التمارين اللي أخذناها بالثلاث أيام. Now, that's not the woman who gave me the money. Okay, yes, go.
That isn't the woman who gave me the money.
Okay, so what did you do exactly? شو عملنا بس؟ كمنا الفاصل ولا لا؟ صح؟
حذفنا الفاصل.
لأنه هذا defining.
حذفناها
Why? It's defining relative clause.
Defining.
Now, if you look at the first sentence, that's not the woman. مش هاي المرأة. وسكتت بقول لك مالها أني مرأة. إذا مش كامل معنى الجملة. شوي بس جورج ثواني. The meaning of the first sentence is incomplete. معنى الجملة الأولى غير مكتمل. نحتاج الجملة الثانية لنحدد المرأة. إذا it's defining. الكوما غلط هون بتكون. There should be no comma. Number 2. Munir, can you? يزن.
Yes.
يلا منير يلا.
She lives with her parents who are quite old.
Yes. So
Right?
So what's the problem here?
لازم نحط كوما ورا البارنتس.
Yes, you can say just the comma. So we need a comma. Now, why do we need a comma in this sentence and not need a comma in the first sentence?
Because it's not defining.
So this is non-defining number 2. The first one is defining, the second one is non-defining. كيف بنعرف إنه الجملة الثانية non-defining? If I tell you she lives with her parents, تعيش مع أبويها. إذا it's a complete meaning. المعنى اكتمل. We need the comma. Yes, George. Any question?
No.
في سؤال؟
I'm okay. No.
Okay. Carol, number 3.
Once there was a dragon which tail was very long.
Yes.
نشيل الكوما.
مش بس هيك، في أخطاء ثانية. Think about it. Who can help? Lujain?
أنا أستاذ. Once there was a dragon whose tail was very long. We change which to whose.
Yes, whose. طلع عليها كمان مرة إنه كارول دراجون مع تيل أسماء، إذا بين الاسمين بتيجي ملكية. كان في تنين ذنبه طويل، إذا تيل بتعود على دراجون ملكية. Now the next one شيماء.
He now live in Jenin, where's a town in the north. He now live in Jenin, which is a town in the north.
Okay, now Jenin here is the subject, and it's a town. Jenin is a town, so we use which. ما بحكي عن مكان زاره مثلا. Now the next one سمعان.
يلا أستاذ الخامسة.
Yes.
Is that the place which you found the letter? Is that the place where you found the letter?
Thank you. Raneen, the last one.
I like to meet people whose their interests are similar to money. I like to meet people whose interests are similar to money.
So we need
whose.
whose بنحذف there منها صح؟
Yes.
افهموا النقطة هون. You need to get the point. Now we cross out there because we use whose instead of there. ما احنا بنستخدم whose بدل الضمير، إذا there لازم نحذفها. بصيرش مثلا بالجملة الجملة الأولى أقول who she، ولا بالثانية who they، ولا بالثالثة who's it، ولا بالرابعة where it. بنحذف الضمير وبنستخدم who أو which أو where أو whose. So we need to cross out the pronoun. Now Hiba, number 1 again, please. Can you do that? Rawand, take it.
إيش أعمال؟
الأولى كمان مرة.
يلا. That isn't the woman who gave me the money.
Okay, the next one. Lujain.
أنا كمان.
Julia 3, سمعان 4. يلا.
She lives with her parents who are quite old with comma.
Okay, continue the other one.
Once there was a dragon which tail was very long. Once there was a dragon whose tail was very long without comma.
Okay, Yaqub.
أستاذ أنت خربشت الدنيا.
بس برجع لك. يعقوب.
Once there was. He lives in Jenin, where is a town in the north. He now lives in Jenin, which is a town in the north.
Okay, go back to you. يلا حلي هاي.
Yeah. Is that the place which you found the letter? Is that the place where you found the letter?
Okay, thank you. Now, Jude.
I like to meet people whose their interests are similar to mine. I like to meet people whose interests are similar to mine.
Whose interests, we say. Interests, not interested. Okay. Now, is it okay with everyone?
Okay.
Okay. Now, yeah. Now, activity number 4, join the two short sentences to make one longer sentence, replacing the underlined parts with the relative pronoun. Remember to use the correct punctuation. Yani remember to use or not to use a comma. We need to join the sentences together. If you look at number 1, Lorraine, can you?
Can
Yes.
أنا شيماء أستاذ.
يلا شيماء، ما هي ساكتة، ما دام سكتت بدي أعطي حدا ثاني. Yes, go.
That's the house I was born there. That's the house where I was born.
Okay, no comma. That's the house where I was born. Now, number 2, Amal. Raneen.
Yes, she is the woman I brought her books. She is the woman whose books I brought.
Borrowed, استعار. Yes, borrowed. Now, number 3, George.
I'm going to Ramallah. It isn't very far from here. I am going to Ramallah, which isn't very far from here.
We need to use the comma then, George, yes? Because the first one is complete. Now, Julia, next one.
Yeah. The man character is a young man. The man's wife is always angry with him. The man character is a young man whose wife is always angry with him.
Okay, so no comma. Whose wife is always angry with him. Number 5, guys.
أحلل الأخيرة أستاذ.
يلا حلها.
My brother is good at basketball. He is very tall for his age. My brother, comma, who is very tall for his age, comma, is good at basketball.
Okay, you have done very well. I hope that you have got everything in the right way. Now, if we look at the sentences again and discuss them, these are the answers. You can screenshot first. صور الشاشة تكتب الإجابات اللي بيلزموه. Meanwhile, I'm going to ask you questions. Yes.
الخامسة ليه حطينا فاصلتين؟
Look at the sentence again. Now, if you look at it, my brother and he, yes? إذن هاي بتكون حشوة. مش زي هدلاك هنا مثلا woman بحدد نقطة هون جاية. بنخلي كل شيء مكانه. رام الله جنب النقطة، إذا بضل كل شيء مكانه. لما يكون الاسم بأول الجملة بدنا نقيم الجملة الثانية ونحطها داخل الأولى. This is called embedded relative clause. When the subject of the sentence is at the beginning and the subject is at the beginning of the second sentence, we need to use the second sentence after the noun. دائما relative clause بيجي بعد الاسم. Okay, Julia?
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you look at the example number 1, is it defining or non-defining?
Defining.
Number 2, yes. Number 2,
Defining.
defining. 3,
non-defining.
Non-defining. We need to use a comma because the sentence is complete. Number 4,
defining.
And the last one,
non-defining.
إذا بنطلع إذا if we just have a look at this sentence here, number 3 and number 5. Look at the first sentence here and the first sentence here. Sorry, not number 3. Now, yeah, it's number 3. I'm sorry again. Now, if you look at them, the first sentence is complete in meaning, so we need to use
a comma.
A comma. Now, the difference between 3 and 5 is that in number 3, the noun Ramallah is next to it, near it, in the same place. They are near each other, close to each other. In this example, he and my brother are far away. So the second number 5 is impeded. جملة 5 لازم تكون بنمط الحشوة. Impeded relative clause. واضح للجميع؟
واضح.
Okay, now we are finishing. So just have a look at the next page for next time. Here, complete these sentences in a way that's true for you. You need to talk about yourself. Then compare your sentences with a partner. I want to study a subject that I'm interested in. If you look at number 1, I sometimes go out with my friends. Who? You need to talk about your friends here. I'll give you an example. I sometimes go out with my friends who are always very friendly. You think about these sentences and complete them at home, please, everyone. Thank you very much for today.
Gracias.
العافية أستاذ.
Rafi, thank you.
العافية.
Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.